positive news overnight that inflation in the US may have passed its peak. It's down from 9.1% to 8.5%. So joining us live now from CommSec is Tom Piotrowski. Tom, good morning to you. So inflation in the US, it's still high, but there is a promising drop there from just a month ago. How will that play on the minds of investors today?
Pete, it's really important not to understate the importance of this. The last month in market terms has been defined by this conversation around the possibility that we will see a moderation in inflation. Had it not been delivered, there would have been quite a bit of volatility in the market. So relief is the bottom line in terms of the response to these figures today. We have seen a very substantial fall in energy prices over the course of the last 6 weeks. Oil prices have fallen by around 25%, and that fall in fuel prices has been instrumental in seeing that moderation in headline and core inflation. That was the other important element of these inflation numbers, was that the core was below expectations. That's where you exclude food. When you exclude food and energy, you end up with the core numbers. So that was seen as a massive positive. Stocks really rallied ahead. Technology stocks, which are acutely influenced by higher interest rates, they rose by 2.9%, where the Nasdaq was concerned. The S&P 500 up by around 2%. The Dow up by 1.5%. European markets moved ahead on the back of this. So the only downside, Pete, being that the fall in inflation saw the US dollar pull back, and that was supportive for commodity prices, but particularly where oil was concerned. So we've seen oil did fall earlier in the session. We saw a bigger jump in US inventories in the last week, but that US dollar was quite supportive for it. So oil had a little bit of a bump higher, and significantly expectations around the next US rate rise halved when it came to expectations of a 0.75% rise. The market now thinking that the Fed will likely raise rates by 0.5%. At one stage, a 1% rate rise was being discussed as a possibility.
Really interesting.